Thursday, NHL betting on the ice. Got a huge slate. We hop into all the trends to help you become a better handicapper, giving you trends and angles so you can pick your own games. We'll also give you my leans as well as what plays playing today. Click that like, hit subscribe. Let's hop into it. Like I said, big slate, so let's run through this. Chicago Blackhawks visiting Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay Lightning overwhelmingly minus 325 on the money line, catching 78% of the bets, 50% of the handle. I'm not sure how you lay 325 in anything, but whatever. Blackhawks plus 260 on the comeback, 22% of bets, 50% of the handle. Now that over under 6.5, 64% of bets going to the under, 69% of the handle going to the under. For the over, 36% of bets going to the over, 31% of the handle going to the over. Now, Tampa Bay head-to-head with the Blackhawks. The Lightning have owned the Blackhawks. They've won 10 of the last 12 meetings in there. And then when the game has been played in Tampa, the last 13 in Tampa, Tampa's 10-3. So they've absolutely dominated them. But from last year to now, Tampa's struggled. Not the Tampa Bay we're used to seeing the past couple of years. They're 1-7 straight up their last 8, and they've lost their last 5 home games. So the Blackhawks may be just what they need. Now, the over is cashed 12 of the last 17 games for the Lightning. The under between these two teams is cashed 4 of the last 6 meetings. When you look at this game, Tampa Bay, they come in on the season 1-3-2. The Blackhawks actually over 500, 3-2-2. Blackhawks coming off a overtime win 2-1 versus Anaheim just a couple nights ago, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning, they again have lost 3 in a row here, losing to Columbus 3-2 after back-to-back losses in overtime. So 4-game road trip. They won the first game against Boston. They've lost the last 3. Again, seems like a get-right spot, right? But I can't lay 3-10 in a hockey game. Something I would say, again, we look at building these little parlays, not trying to hit a home run, just trying to get to the plus money side or something like that. As we build this, let's put the Blackhawks plus 3.5 goals in there. You can actually get plus 2.5 Mazadar 80. Now, plus 3.5 is a little bigger, but we're just going to table that to the side. I got no lean in this game. Hopefully, I gave you some stuff to help you pick it out, but I got nothing on this one. Flyers at the Senators. Senators laying $1.60 plus 135 on the comeback for the Flyers. 41% of bets is equating to 61% of the money for the visiting Flyers. 59% of bets equating to 39% of the handle on the Ottawa Senators. Now, that over-under is 5.5, and the over is getting all the love. 74% of bets, 97% of money. Only 26% of bets and 3% of the handle going to the under. So not a whole lot of love here for that under. Makes sense, though, because 4 of the last 5 have went over the total for the Flyers, and head-to-head between these two teams, the over is cashed 6 of the last 7, and on top of that, Ottawa, 6 of their last 8 have went over the total, so it's been all over all the time. Now, Flyers really been struggling as well as Ottawa. Ottawa just 1-5 straight up their last 6. Philadelphia 3-6 straight up their last 9. But what's even worse is the Flyers are not good on the road. They're 1-10 straight up their last 11. And head-to-head, Ottawa's taken 6 of the last 8 matchups between these two teams. So it's been a real struggle for the Flyers when they're visiting Ottawa. Flyers come into this game 3-2-1, 4-2 on the puck line. Ottawa 2-4-1. So no real bargain either way. In the previous 10 matchups, Ottawa's controlled that 7-10. Now, the Flyers have won back-to-back games. Both of those were at home, though. 2-1 over the Wild in overtime, then 5-2 the other night against the Kraken. 2 straight losses in the last one coming in overtime against Edmonton for Ottawa. Again, no real lean in this game for me. But what I will say is I think if you're going to do something, I would look to the under 5.5, just not something I want to pull the trigger on. 2 teams that they're really struggling right now, and it's not a get-right spot for either one, in my opinion. So I'm going to stay away from this one. Next one on the board, click that like, hit subscribe. Boston Bruins laying $1.20. Even money on the comeback for the Anaheim Ducks here. Ducks are the Bruins getting 73% of bets, 86% of the handle. Ducks getting 27% of bets, 14% of the handle. That over under 5.5, 71% of bets, 79% of the money going to the over. 29% of bets, 21% of the handle going to the under for the Anaheim Ducks. Now, Anaheim's just 3-7, their last 10 overall, and they've been even worse on the road. Ducks have not traveled the air very well. 3-11 straight up their last 14. However, they are head-to-head, them in Boston. When this is played in Boston, the Ducks have taken 7 of the last 10 games when these two teams meet in Boston. That's pretty crazy. Anaheim's also 14-6 straight up the last 20 overall versus Boston. So they really had the Bruins number. Now the overs cashed 7 of Boston's last 8 games at home. And head-to-head, the overs cashed 6 of the last 9. Again, Boston, when they've played at home against the Ducks, 3-7 the last 10, like we just said. When I look at this, Boston, they're on their losing streak, right? Anaheim comes in 3-2-1. Boston comes in 3-5. Now, Boston is 6-2 on the puck line. Ducks 1-5 on the puck line. Ducks have taken the last 3 meetings, 2 of those coming in overtime. Again, Boston, they got out to that hot start, won 3 games to start the season. Now they've lost 5 straight. And here's the thing, 4 of the 5 they've lost by a goal, right? So they've hung around and been in this thing enough to be competitive in it. They just haven't been able to get across the finish line in these games, no matter who they've played over the last 5. When you look at this, Boston, their last 10 games as a home favorite, 5-5 straight up, 5-5 ATS. As a road dog, though, again, we talked about it, Ducks 3-7. However, they have had the number of the Boston Bruins. I'm going to play the Bruins here, minus $1.20. I like the spot. I know Anaheim in the past has had their number, obviously, but I think this is a good spot for the Bruins. Look, they've lost 5 in a row, and not that I'm betting on a streak to end, because I always tell you that shouldn't be your angle. But the angle is they've been competitive. They've hung in there. They just haven't been able to get across the finish line. So Boston, minus $1.20, I'm going to take them. I'm also going to move the Bruins plus 2.5 into that parlay with the Blackhawks plus 3.5 as we start to build our parlay for the evening here in the National Hockey Association. Moving on to the next game, Florida Panthers. They're going to host the Pittsburgh Penguins. Panthers laying $2 plus 165 on the comeback for the Penguins. 77% of bets to the Florida Panthers, 23% of bets going to the Penguins. But the money's opposite. 59% of the money going to the Penguins, 41% to the Florida Panthers. That over under 5.5, as we see in most games, 68% of the money, 80% of the handle going to the over. 32% of bets, 20% of the handle going to the under between these two teams. Pittsburgh 6-2 their last 8, and 4-1 their last 5 on the road. Pittsburgh's been hot. Florida 1-4 straight up their last 5. They had a 4-game losing streak and won the last game, ironically, against Boston we just talked about. But Florida's been tough at home. They're 5-1 straight up their last 6. And head-to-head, when these two teams meet up in Florida, Florida's taken 5 of the last 6 games in this series. And Florida's also taken 6 of the last 7 overall between these two teams. Again, just a little bit of a punch-up in weight class for the Pens. Last 10 games at home, Florida 8-2 straight up here. 6-4 on the road are the Pens. Now, the last 10 games as a home favorite, 7-3 are the Florida Panthers. That includes 5 straight at home. But the Penguins have covered the puck line as a road dog in 6 straight contests. Covered that as a road dog, so that's pretty impressive. Again, this is going to be a stay away for me. I think the Panthers kind of get right a little bit. They've had the number of the Penguins as far as the trends and all go. If you were going to do something with Florida, I would put them in a parlay with somebody. But I'm just going to stay away from that one for right now. Next game on the board, San Jose Sharks visit the New York Rangers. Rangers laying 270 plus 220 on the comeback for the Sharks, who are god-awful. 89% of bets and 82% of the money going to the New York Rangers. 18% of the money, 11% of the bets going to the San Jose Sharks. You're over under 6.5. 67% of bets, 54% of the money going to the under, 33% of bets, 46% of the money going to the over between these two teams. Now, the New York Rangers, listen, they've struggled to win at home, but this might be a good spot for them. The Sharks have lost 10 straight games. In the last 13 head-to-head contests, the Rangers have an 11-2 edge. As most teams in the hockey league, they've beat the Sharks to a pulp. Sharks, not only are they 0-10 straight up their last 10, they're 0-9 their last 9 on the road. Now, the Rangers, they come into this, they haven't got off to the start that I thought they would. They're 1-4 straight up, and the under has cashed 5 straight road games. And head-to-head, the under's cashed 7 of the last 9. Would explain why you're seeing some under money show up between these two teams. San Jose has yet to win a game this year, 0-4-2. The Rangers come in 3-4-1, but again, the Rangers totally dominant in this series between these two teams. Now, the Rangers, the last 10 games as a home favorite, I just talked about, they haven't played well. 3-7 straight up, 2-6 on the puck line. Road dog straight up. We talked about that. 9 straight losses for the San Jose Sharks. Look, I can't lay the big number with the Rangers, but what I can do over at FanDuel, they're minus 265. We're putting that parlay together in FanDuel. Blackhawks plus 3.5 goals on the alt total, or alt puck line. Alt puck line Bruins plus 2.5. Remember, they've been covering the 1.5 all year long. And the Rangers on the money line right there, that's guys at $1.19. We'll see if we throw in another hockey. If we don't, I got an NBA we can put in there. Check out that NBA show we put out for the doubleheader tonight. Think you guys are going to like the content we got on that. Detroit Red Wings. I didn't play the game, but yesterday I said on the show I would lean Red Wings over the Sabres. I had a couple people message me. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate all the support. Y'all said Sabres. One was a diehard Red Wings fan and said the Sabres. Kudos to you. You had it pegged right. I had it pegged wrong. Can't get them all. Red Wings right now as the road dog plus $1.15 minus 135 is the hometown Islanders. Islanders getting 46% of bets, but 65% of the handle. Red Wings getting 54% of bets, but 35% of the handle. Now look, that over under 6.5, 64% of bets and 77% of the handle going to the over. 36% of bets, 23% of the handle going to the under in this one. Detroit comes in 5-2, both straight up and against the puck line. The Islanders 3-3 straight up, 2-4 on the puck line. Red Wings have taken 6 of the last 10 contests. Red Wings had a 5-game winning streak. Again, that got snapped 4-2 in their loss against the Sabres last night. The Islanders are actually on a 3-game win streak after starting out 0 for the season. They've been able to right the ship there for them. Now, look, when you get into a couple more trends here, Detroit has not been good on the road. We saw that last night against the Sabres. Detroit just 4-12 straight up their last 16 road games, but they're 5-1 straight up their last 6. We talked about that road, that 5-game win streak getting snapped, but they're also 5-1 head-to-head the last 6 with the New York Islanders. Islanders 6-14 over their last 20 and 4-8 straight up their last 12. Head-to-head, the overs cashed 4 of the last 6. Again, I'm just going to stay away here. I don't want to step in front of a streak with the Islanders and the Red Wings. I usually don't like betting teams coming off of a back-to-back, especially Red Wings. That was a tough game last night. Just going to be a stay away, but hopefully gave you something there that can help your handicap, whichever side you want to pick in the game. Vancouver Canucks and the Nashville Predators in Nashville. Right now, Predators laying $1.10, minus 110 for the Canucks, evened up here. 60% of bets to the Canucks, 52% of the handle. 40% of bets going to the Predators, 48% of the handle. That over under 5.5, 63% of bets to the over, 37% of bets to the under in there. As far as the money, 74% of the handle going to the over, 26% of the handle going to the under. Canucks come in 4-3. Predators come in 2-3-2. Canucks won the last meeting that they played, and they've taken 6 of the last 10 head-to-head between these two teams. Now, a couple other trends. Vancouver, they've won 6 straight in Nashville. They have not gotten distracted by Broadway Street down there in Nashville, 6 straight in Nashville, and they're 9-4 the last 13 meetings against the Predators, 5-2 straight up their last 7 on the road. Canucks have been really good on the road. Nashville 1-5 straight up their last 6. The unders cashed 13 of the last 18 games in Nashville. And again, head-to-head, 4 of the last 5 between these two teams have cashed to the under as well. When you look into the last 10 games as a home favorite, Nashville 5-5. Last 10 games as a road dog for Vancouver, 5-5. Last 10 games at home, 3 overs, 7 unders for the Nashville Predators. So again, it's been much more leaning to those unders that Nashville is playing in. Look, when I look at this game and I try to make a case for one side or the other, I like that under 5.5 at +10. Plus 110. You can find that at FanDuel. Maybe you find a 6 out there somewhere, like minus $1.30, minus $1.40 if you're lucky. I think if you can find, and just let me see what they have here. Obviously, they usually skip a goal on those. Yeah, you can find under 6.5, minus $1.40 or minus $1.50 there at FanDuel. Yeah, not sure if I want to hop in on that. But listen, I would definitely lean under would be the way there on that one. And then I would look for the Canucks. They're on the road. Gun to my head, that would be the team that I took there. I just think there's a couple other better ones on the board. Utah Mammoth visiting the St. Louis Blues. Blues laying $1.20, even money on the Mammoth there. The over-under in this game is setting at 5.5. 62% of bets, 55% of the handle going to the over. 38% of bets, 45% of the handle going to the under. Now, as far as that spread, 51% of bets equating to 64% of the money going to the Blues. 49% of bets with 36% of bets of money rather going to the Utah Mammoth. Now, Utah comes into this 5-2, 4-3 on the puck line. Blues come in 3-2-1. Last year, they split the 4 meetings between these two teams. So, again, very competitive. Utah 5-1 its last 6 games. They've played to the under 5 of their last 7. But when these two teams meet in St. Louis over the last 6, 4-2 edge to the St. Louis Blues. Blues have been absolutely phenomenal at home. 16-3 straight up their last 19 at home. The over has cashed 7 of the last 10 games St. Louis has played in the Western Conference. I'm going to play the Blues today, minus $1.20. I really like them in this matchup. I think the Blues get the win here tonight. I'm going to ride the St. Louis Blues minus $1.20. So we got the Blues minus $1.20. We're building that parlay still TBD. And we got the Boston Bruins minus $1.20. Those are our 2 bets on the board right now. Seattle McCracken at the Winnipeg Jets. Jets laying 230 plus 190 on the comeback. 90% of bets, 89% of the handle is on the Jets. 10% of bets, 11% of the handle is on the Kraken. Now that over under 5.5, 62% of bets to the over, 38% of bets to the under, 57% of the handle going to the over, 43% of the handle going to the under in this one. Kraken come in 3-2-2. Winnipeg has got to a 5-1 advantage. I think the only loss they got, I bet them. But Winnipeg has won 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Seattle's been god-awful on the road, 1-6 straight up. Like I said, they've lost 5 in a row to Winnipeg. Winnipeg on that 5-game winning streak, and they've been playing to the under. 5 of Winnipeg's last 6 games have went to the under. Head-to-head between Winnipeg and Seattle, the under is cashed 6 of the last 9 meetings. Again, Winnipeg has really good goalie play. The under 5.5 at FanDuel is minus 105. I'm going to go ahead and play a half unit there on the Jets and take the under 5.5 there for a half unit. So we got the Blues and Bruins, the under 5.5, and the parlay we're putting together. May adjust the unit size when we get there, but let's finish up. We got 3 games left on the board. Click that like, hit subscribe. The LA Kings visit the Dallas Stars. Stars laying $1.46. Kings plus 122 as road dogs. Your over-under is 5.5. in this matchup. Now, 68% of bets, 75% of the handle to the over. Ottinger has not been good in goal for the Stars. 32% of bets, 25% of the handle to the under. Now, 80% of tickets, 73% of the handle going to the Stars. 20% of bets, 27% of handle going to the Kings in this one. LA Kings come into this game 2-3-2, but 5-2 on the puck line. Stars 3-3 both ways. Stars have taken 7 of the last 10 head-to-head. The Kings finally broke their 4-game losing streak in their last game at Seattle, 2-1 overtime win. However, Dallas has lost 3 straight, 2 of those being at home. So they've really struggled here. But Dallas hosting the Kings might be just what the doctor ordered. Kings are 2-9 straight up their last 11. Dallas is 3-7 straight up their last 10. And Dallas is just 1-4 at home. However, Dallas has dominated the Kings. They're 13-5 straight up their last 18 games versus the LA Kings. Head-to-head, this has gone under the total 6 of the last 8. I'm going to take the Dallas Stars for a double unit tonight, minus $1.46. And I'm also going to up the Boston Bruins and the St. Louis Blues. So the Bruins, minus $1.20, double unit. Blues, minus $1.20, double unit. Dallas Stars, minus $1.46, double unit. Under 5.5 in the Winnipeg Jets game for a single unit. And we're still building that parlay that we'll finish off here in just a moment. Next game on the board, Carolina Hurricanes visiting the Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche laying $1.30. They're getting 66% of bets, 75% of the handle. Carolina Hurricanes, the road dog, plus $1.10, 34% of bets, 25% of the handle. Now that over under 5.5, 83% of bets, 96% of the handle going to the over. 17% of bets, 4% of the handle going to the under in this matchup. Now, as far as Carolina, they come in 5-1, 3-3 on the puck line. Colorado 5-0-2, 4-3 on the puck line. Colorado has taken 6 of the last 10 games in this series. These are 2 of the better teams in the National Hockey League, but Colorado's won 5 of the last 7 head-to-head. And when these 2 teams play in Colorado, it hasn't went well for Carolina. 16-3, the Avalanche have dominated Carolina in Colorado. Colorado, again, under 5 of their last 7 contests, and the under is cashed in Colorado 9 of the last 11 games. Listen, getting them minus $1.30, I'm going to go ahead and play the Colorado Avalanche for a single unit. I can't pass that up. Again, when you're 16-3, got to ride that wave, and I'll do that with the Colorado Avalanche. Last game on the board, Edmonton Oilers laying 240 plus $2 on the comeback for the visiting Canadians, who beat the Calgary Flames last night. We gave out the Flames. That was a loser. You're over under 6.5. Now that's juice minus 130 to the under. 33% of tickets, 36% of the handle going to the over. 67% of tickets, 64% of the handle to the under. Right now, 81% of bets going to Edmonton, 19% of bets going to the Canadians, 72% of the money going to the Edmonton Oilers, 28% of the money going to the visiting Canadians. Now, the Canadians, they're 6-1 straight up their last 7, but the last 10 meetings head-to-head, Edmonton holds the edge. Edmonton's won 7 of the last 10 between these 2 teams. And Edmonton, though, is just 4-8 straight up their last 12. They've played to the over 4 of their last 5 at home, but the Edmonton Oilers overall, 4 of the last 6 have went under the total. The totals also went under 6 of Montreal's last 8 on the road between these 2 teams. So really, really struggled in that aspect of it. When I look at this game, the Oilers are so hard to bet for me. You got the 2 greatest players in the league, definitely the greatest player in the world in McDavid. And I just can't trust Skinner and the goalie. They're forever driving me nuts. I just can't do it. So going to be a stay away. But let's finish off that hockey parlay. Again, alt totals and one big money line. This parlay is going to be plus 107. We're going to do it for a single unit. We're going to do alt puck line Blackhawks plus 3.5, alt puck line Bruins plus 2.5, Rangers on the money line, and the Avalanche flipping it plus 2.5 goals. That gets you plus 107 at FanDuel. We're going to put a single unit on that. So just to recap, we got a single unit on that parlay in the National Hockey League. We got the Boston Bruins -$1 20 for a double unit. We got the St. Louis Blues -$1 20 for a double unit. The under 5.5 in the Jets Kraken game for a single unit, and the Dallas Stars -$1 45 for a double unit, and the Colorado Avalanche -$1 30 straight up for a single unit. Those are our plays. Click that like, hit subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Check out our NBA show on the doubleheader. Thursday Night Football, got a great little short, takes about 5 minutes. Break the Board Sports, where we help you become a better handicapper. Happy handicapping, and God bless.